So I'm making this video as the most requested thing through Instagram to make a video on was entries. So I'm going to share one of my entry methods. I have multiple ways that I can enter the market. I'm going to show you the simplest way. Even if you're only starting to learn how to trade, you don't have to have much experience to be able to understand this method. So I call this one the 4 hour candle flip. So this works best on the 4 hour time frame. It does work on the hourly as well, but 4 hour has a higher probability of your trade playing out when you use this method. So once you identify a level of supply or demand, so for example, let's say we have this level here. We have a level of supply here. Price is tapped in. Now let's say you've missed this move. You've missed this big sell-off. Maybe you're not confident enough to take a trade from here. Whatever the reason may be, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you a way that you can scale in for the move to the downside without much trading experience. So how this works is we wait for the candle to close, 4 hour candle to close. If you're looking to sell, you can see we pushed into supply. We want to take price back down to this level here. Let's say as an easy target. Now this works very well after the 10 o'clock candle. So once the 10 o'clock candle London session is closed, you can get in on the lead up to New York session. So for example here, this is a 6 a.m. candle. This is a 10 a.m. You can use it on the 6 after the 6 a.m. candle as well, because volume comes in at 8. So once you're using this around volume times, it works pretty nicely. So I'm going to show you this method here. So what we do is we wait for a candle to close. We then anticipate that the next candle is going to follow the same direction as the previous candle. So that means that this candle is bearish. We anticipate the next candle is going to be bearish. So what we do is we wait for price to wick back. So we wait for price to make the wick back on the 4 hour candle. And then once it flips bearish, the same as this candle, we take our entry. So for example, here in this example, we would put our entry once this candle has flipped. So keep in mind, this looks like a bullish candle at one point in time. And then once the wick pulls back and goes past the open price and flips to bearish, we then take our entry with a stop loss above the wick. And we're taking this trade based off that this is the wick to the upside. This candle is now going to follow the previous candle and go bearish. In this case, we did for a 1:4 down to this area of support here. Now, this doesn't just happen in this scenario, this happens most days. So let's go again. Let's say we've pushed into this level here. And what did we do? We missed this candle. So we missed the entry up here. Keep in mind, I would take an entry from up here, but if you're not that experienced and you need to wait for some sort of confirmation like this, like you can see small bullish candles here, wicks to the upside, and then boom, big bearish candle showing us momentum is clearly on the sell side. So what do? We wait for price to pull back. Once it does, now look at the timing here. This is 10 o'clock. Like I said, 10 o'clock. So 11, volume comes in, pulls back, and then starts pushing down. What do? We take our entry here. We put our stop loss above the wick, and we target the lows again. Another 1:5 this time. So this happens nearly every day. They're not the only two examples that you'll find on a chart. You will find hundreds of examples. Let's just scroll over a bit. I'm sure I can see another one by just scrolling a little bit to the right, just so I can show you. And here we go here. Actually, here's a very recent one. So here's 10 o'clock. Now, if you're looking to sell from this supply, this is an all-time high. What happens when price makes all-time highs? We have to pull back in order to continue higher, or in this case, go lower. This was due to news, this move. So if you look here, 10 o'clock candle, it's closed bearish. And the only difference with this one is there is no big momentum to the downside, but it's the same concept. No big momentum to the downside. But if you're selling based off, you think this is going to be a pullback to the low to then go higher, you can still trade down to this level. But, we'll call it here just to play it safe. So what do we do? 10 o'clock candles closed, price pulls back. And keep in mind, this will have to respect the previous 4 hour candle high. So if this wick comes up here, I don't want to take the trade because we've broke this candle high and we're likely going to continue upwards. So what do? Same as last time. Price pushes up, pulls back, flips bearish. Where do we put our stop loss? Just above the wick that it created. So in this case here, and then we target the lows again. There's a 1:6.2. This happens over and over and over again every single day. I could spend all day here on the chart showing you multiple examples. This is a very high probability entry method. And like I said, the 4 hour and with volume, it works perfectly. The only thing you really need to get right in order to take these entries is you need to be trading with the trend and from an area of supply or demand. So if you see, for example, let's say we've pushed into an area of supply. We've pushed into an area of supply. If the 4 hour candle is going to the upside, we don't want to take buys because we're looking to sell from this area. So if candles start printing downwards and you want to catch that momentum back down to the bottom, that's where you're going to take your 4 hour candle flip entries. So like I said, this is a very, very good entry method that nobody talks about. I personally don't know anybody that uses this method. This is something that I came up with years ago, and I've never really shared it. Obviously, I've taught people years ago in my classes. I've showed them this method, but I never really posted about it. Such a simple and effective method. And I hope that you can benefit and make money from the market using this method. So leave a comment and a like and share the video if this has helped you in any way. And I will be posting from now on once a week on YouTube. So any recommendations that you want, leave them in the comments and I'll look through them and make some videos about what you're asking.